Hi guys, today we are going to talk about relapse in recovery, especially with drugs and alcohol addiction. In case you missed out my previous video, I'm Thomas, a person with lived experience with addiction myself, currently working in NAMS as an assistant counsellor. In our daily life, sometimes craving cannot be avoided, and it's necessary to find a way to cope with this mental obsession. There are ways to put away this obsession. Talk to friends or family member about craving when it occurs. Talking can be very helpful in pinpointing the source of craving. And also, talking about craving often helps to relieve the feeling and will help restore honesty in our relationship. Craving is nothing to feel bad about. Looking out for counselors or friends that is not judgmental. When experiencing a craving, many people will have the tendency to remember only the positive effect of drugs and alcohol, forgetting the negative consequences. Therefore, you will find it helpful and remind yourself that you really won't feel better if you use, and you will stand to lose a lot. Sometimes it is helpful to have these consequences listed on a small card that you keep it with you. Immerse yourself in a hobby. Visit healthy friends, go for a movie, hiking, or exercise. Once you are interested in something else, you will find the urges going away. Many people try to cope with their urges by toughening it out, but some cravings are too strong to ignore. When this happens, it can be useful to stay with the urge until it passes. When you write out the craving, without trying to better it, judge it, or ignore it, you will see that it passes out more quickly than you think. Let's talk more about stages of relapse. Those suffering from alcohol and substance use disorder, they are not thinking about using during this emotional relapse stage. Instead, they recall the first time they relapsed, and they do not wish to repeat that instance. Emotional relapse is often a result of poor self-care. Therefore, it is imperative for those dealing with emotional relapse to understand the importance of maintaining self-care. The acronym HOT is a great place to start, standing for hungry, angry, lonely, tired. HOT is a great reminder of basic needs that require daily care. However, their behavior and emotion are setting the stage for a subsequent relapse. Emotional relapse include isolation, attending support groups but not engaging or sharing, not attending meetings or groups therapy at all, focusing on others' problem, suppressing their own emotion, sleeping or eating irregular pattern. When we choose not to work on any sign or symptom of the emotional stage, then there's an increased risk of transiting to the second stage of relapse, which is mental relapse. Once in mental relapse, which is best described as a war going on inside one's mind, the individual is at a high risk of physical relapse. Part of them want to use, the other part doesn't. Signs of mental relapse include craving or physical and physiological urges to use drugs and alcohol, thinking about people, places and things associated with past use, hanging out with old friends who is using alcohol or other drugs. It can also take the form of switching from one addictive substance for another. Looking for relapse opportunity, which is hanging out with old friends or missing support group meetings. Planning your relapse, it is important to remember that it is harder to make the right choices as the pool of addiction gets stronger. When a person doesn't take time to acknowledge and address the symptom of emotional and mental relapse, it doesn't take long to lead down to the path to physical relapse. If you recognize the early warning sign of mental and emotional relapse and understand the symptom and preventive strategy to turn your path around, you're able to catch yourself before it's too late. This handy acronym HOT reminds us to take a moment and ask ourselves if we are feeling hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. It seems simple enough, but if we are skeptical to this self-destructive pattern, when these basic needs are not met, including relapse, the good news is help is always out there.